Game 2 of the Chicago Fury against the St. Louis Blues. No games tomorrow, just a practice for the Fury boys. But, played St. Louis yesterday. Ended up winning that game, I believe it was 3-2. So won that game. Looking for another W here today. might be over my head. Yeah, try it. Can you see my head or no?
Yeah, I can see your head.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let me move. All right. So, game 2 between Chicago Fury and St. Louis Blues this fine Saturday afternoon. And I'm not sure if the St. Louis Blues are playing anybody else during their trip up here, but a couple of games against us. We were able to defeat them 3-2 yesterday. A couple of nice goals from Betts. He had a really nice breakaway goal that he scored. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if that was on the PK, but it was a nice strip of the defenseman up at the point. Went house with it. And another nice 2-on-1 opportunity. And then we had a goal from, I believe it was a defenseman that scored it. Nice pass to the far side and a goal for our 3. And, but Dylan's going to get both games as Lucas tweaked his groin, and so taking some time to let that heal up. Obviously a very necessary muscle to play the position. So Dylan's going to get both the games this weekend. Hopefully we have him back for the much more intense Silver Stick tournament that's taking place this weekend, or next weekend. We're going to have Dino in with Cheech and I think that's E.T. on the right wing side. Eli and Garrett. So Eli takes it. Just going to look to come up the middle. We're going to backhand that down into the zone. E.T. on the forecheck. Looks to force that forward. Dino with a nice stick to break that up. Comes across up top. Just going to throw that on net, looking for a rebound. Goaltender able to hold on to it though. All right, Dino wins it forward. Sorry, Bengals out there. Nice shoulder save by St. Louis. Second opportunity. Eli's trying to come through. Dino on the near boards. As it tries to feed that up to the point. Going to get chipped into the neutral zone. Dino's going to pick that up, pull up in the neutral zone. He's got space. Just going to throw that down into the zone. Going to go all the way around. That's going to meet it in the far corner. Puck gets played down behind the net. St. Louis D has it. Play that off the boards. RJ with a nice long stick there to break that up. Throws it back to the D. Good D to D. Again, leaves it for Cantori. Cantori over to Quinn. Quinn doesn't see the lane. Off the cut back. Throws that over to KJ. KJ finds Betts up the near side. Here comes Fury. 3-on-3. Looks to push that forward over to RJ. Nice play there by Cantori to keep that onside. St. Louis looks to play with it down behind the goal line. RJ on the boards, pushes it down to the corner. Centering feed there is going to hit off of a skate. And into the neutral zone. Hodgman's going to get there first. Kicks that over to Andrew Conroy. Conroy looks to chip that forward, gets shoved down. Lewis gets it in the zone. On the outside, in tight. Shot's going to miss this high. Throwing around over in the far corner. Jimmy Cotter there with a nice body. St. Louis supporting the puck. Thrown down behind the net. Cantori gets to it. Tries to play that up to RJ. RJ's going to tip that into the neutral zone. Let Conroy give chase. Conroy hard on it. Backhand up to the wing. Centering feed there. Ollie is there. Just backhands that right down to Conroy. Conroy throws it down to Sean. Sean plays the body. Knocks the defenseman off the puck. No! No way! No way! They're going to give a cross check to. They're going to give a cross check to Sean for that hit down low. I don't think that was a very good call. All right, so on the penalty kill now. 12:46 remaining here in the first period. Going to be E.T. with Ollie and Garrett and Eli. Fun defense. Nice win there by E.T. Throw that back. St. Louis going to get to it. Tries to feed that into the near corner, but nobody there. It's going to go all the way up to the point, though. They're going to get that up top, down to the wing. Up to the top. Far side wing. Slap shot there. Eli looks to pressure. St. Louis makes a move, tries to drive that in. Nice save there by Dillon. Up to the point. On the wing, centering feed. Beautiful stick there by Garrett. Puck still bouncing around. St. Louis able to recollect it. Comes around up high, feeds it to the far side wing. ET is there. Couple attempts, shot. Nice save there by Dillon. Dino in the face-off circle. Puck gets one forward, turns into a foot race. St. Louis able to get there, but a nice stick by Dino pushes it all the way down into the St. Louis zone. As they're going to cut back, that's going to burn about 10 seconds off the clock there. Nice play by Dino. Got up to the wing up the near side. Gains the zone, nice little flip pass. Trying to get around the D. KJ kicks him outside. Still has it, feeds it up to the point. Shot from the center. Dillon with a nice save. Same boys out there. Dino. Nice wing. He's going to win that around hard. Looks to find Cheech on the boards, but he's going to seal it. Cheech is going to try and push that out into the neutral zone. The puck bounces around and gets out. Dino maintains possession. Going to gain the center line. Throws that in. Cheech going to back off on the forecheck a little bit, but he gets to the puck first. He's going to throw that one on. That's going to go off the side. There comes St. Louis up the near side. Goes to the middle. St. Louis going to regroup, and that's going to do it for the penalty. Pass there gets broken up to Dino. Dino in. Has it. Oh! Looks to go along the ice on the far side. Quinn with a quick move over to Crafty. Oh, he's going to ring that off the crossbar. St. Louis looking to spread it out. Here they come with speed. One-on-one against Hodge. In tight. Nice play there by Hodge to tie him up. Puck into the corner. Coming around the outside. Hodge is going to shove him down, but that's going to be a penalty. They're going to call Hodgman for that little shove from behind. Oh yeah, Dino was about to come out screaming. All right, Cantori. Off. Goes to the forward. He comes all the way down. Nice save there by Dillon. St. Louis has it. Up to the point. Down on the wing. Back up to the point. Far side. Kick back. One-timer. Ooh, deflection there. Goes through the crease. Jimmy with a nice play there on the body. Shoves into the ice, but St. Louis able to maintain control. On the outside, looking back door. Shot's going to go just through the crease. St. Louis. Up to the point. Down to the wing. Shot. Nice save. Beth is going to get to it. Going to try and clear it out of the zone, and does. St. Louis looking to regroup. Forced to turn away by Betts. On the outside. Gains the zone. He tries to kick that across. Oh, a little backhand feed there. It's going to miss the mark. You're going to be able to clear it out. 30 seconds remaining here on the power play. Get there, ET. St. Louis winger is going to come down and pick it up. Here comes St. Louis. Looks to make a couple of moves. Beats a couple guys, comes in, drives it wide. On the outside, looks to feed that forward. Forced back out. Comes around up high. There's possession shot. Nice save there by Dillon. Conroy gets to it. He's going to look to get that out of the zone, and does, but doesn't go all the way down. Oh, they're going to try and feed that up to the wing. Looks to find a pass across, gets it over to Sean. Sean looking to spring free there. Has it, looks to beat a defender. Down low. Oh, going to go through the slot. Eli's going to step up, it's going to get pushed around. That's going to get backhanded into the zone. Offsides. So there's going to be Well, he's going to have a little equipment issue on the St. Louis side. All right. All right, so they are going to force changing out the goalie. Yeah, so he's got an equipment malfunction, so the ref is going to say that they're going to have to put in the backup goalie. And until he can get his equipment fixed. And then they can put him back in. All right, back and forth as they're trying to figure out whether he should come to the locker room to get it fixed or if he can do it on the bench. And they're going to say, hey, go get it fixed and come back. So we're going to get the other goalie in here for a little bit. Sean O'Hare on the faceoff circle with ETRJ, Jimmy, and Hodge on the back. Nice win there by Sean. Hodge gains the center line. Just going to throw that down into the zone. Plays it all the way around. Here comes RJ. Big body RJ. Head up to the near side. He's going to look to center that. Nice play by, I think that was RJ with a nice stick over to Hodge. Hodge, nice find over to RJ. He's going to throw that down towards the net. Goalie's just going to cover it up as ET is right there. Oh, I want to know what's up, son. All right, Dino with Ollie and Cheech. Quinn and KJ. Nice win there by Dino. Right back to KJ. KJ with a shot from distance. Going to get blocked down. Here comes St. Louis in transition. On 70 feet. Quinn with a nice stick. Just close it out of game. Good for St. Louis. Gets it back. Nice play there by KJ. Oh, it's actually go off the side of the St. Louis guy's head. Oh, they try to find Cheech. Now we're going to get a penalty on... or not a, yeah. All right, so they're going to call a penalty for a rough. Okay, so Fury going to go on the power play now. With Dino, Cheech, Ollie, Quinn, and KJ. 8:10 remaining here in the first period. Nice win there by Dino. Quinn walks the blue line. Gives it back to Dino. Dino looks to find KJ back door. Oh! Just not able to get enough on it to get that one in the net. Misses just wide. But great play. Over to Quinn. Quinn right back down to Dino. Dino up high. Decides to circle away from the play. Isolate the player. Makes a move. Looks to come across. Kicks it over to Quinn. Quinn feeds that down to Ollie. Ollie back up to Quinn. Over to KJ. KJ, a little slip over to Dino. He's going to take a weird bounce on the board, but Dino able to maintain control. Up at the point. A little behind the back over to Quinn. Quinn comes across. Over to KJ. Dino makes a move. Drives it in. Looks to find Quinn back door. Oh, huge save. Second chance. Third chance. Oh, man. Quinn slides all the way down to 3 chances back to back. Boy, goalie pulls it out. Makes all the saves. 36 seconds remaining here in the power play. 7:15 remaining in the first period. Oh, yeah. All right. So they got the regular goalie back in. All right. So we got Betts, Crafty. Face off. One between the D. Eli back to pick it up. Over to Garrett. Garrett. Leads it over to Cantori. Cantori with a move. Has some speed. Up the near side. Has a little bit of lane. Gonna drive it to the middle, to the backhand. Puck still loose. There, Cantori has it. On the back, feeds that up to Eli. Eli's gonna walk towards the middle, feeds it over to Garrett. Garrett with the 1T. Oh, Crafty accidentally blocks it. Betts tries to throw that on net. Goes off the side. Betts still has it, down to Crafty. Crafty gets it, feeds it up to Garrett. Garrett over to Eli. Eli's gonna throw that on net, puck bouncing around. Crafty is there. Near corner. Leaves it for Betts. That's up to Garrett. Garrett over quick to Eli. Eli's just going to throw that down to the corner. St. Louis is there, going to rim that around hard. Garrett's going to meet it, but it's going to go into the neutral zone. Garrett tries to tip that up to Kraft. St. Louis intercepts it. Tries to feed it in the middle. Garrett with a nice play there. Kicks it up to Cantori. Cantori going to gain the center line. Chips that down into the zone. 6 minutes remaining here in the first period. Plays that off the boards. E.T. intercepts the centering feed. Oh, just rolls off of his stick. Turns around. Oh, gets it down to Conroy. He shoots it just wide. Sean looks to cycle that. Down behind the St. Louis net. Oh, just had it poked off of his stick. St. Louis tries to feed that up to the wing, but E.T. is there. Tries to make a quick play down to Conroy, but just behind him. St. Louis up the far side. Can backhand that forward. Jimmy is there. Going to break it down, but St. Louis following up the play, gains the zone. Takes a shot from the distance, going to miss just wide. Comes off the back corner of the net. He's going to play that off the glass. Going to bounce over the defenseman's stick. Conroy on the forecheck. He plays it off the boards. Tries to play that forward. Going to go between the two. As Dillon is going to hold on to that as St. Louis player. Hard on the check. 5:08 remaining here in the first period. All right, next one by Dino. KJ's going to rim that around. This will be RJ. RJ tries to chip it in the middle, but St. Louis is going to pick it up. Spin around, dump in from the blue line. KJ looking to play the body on the outside. Trying to get that forward, gets it to Cheech. Here comes Dino up the near side. Dino, nice little one-handed push forward. Has Quinn activating on the play. Good stick there by St. Louis, though. RJ comes across with the blood. Here comes St. Louis 2-on-2. Driving it wide. Starts through. KJ kicks him on the outside. St. Louis player goes down. D picks it up. Has a lane. Walks it in. Going to shoot it high and wide. Going to rim all the way around, though. He's going to throw that down behind the net. Quinn's going to play the body. Puck goes into the far corner. A little cycle. KJ with a nice stick to get that out of the zone. As they're going to say icing. Well, maybe. Could be right. All right, Cantori, Bossy, and Kraft. Garrett and Eli. Nice win there by Cantori. Bounces off of a stick. Lewis has it, tries to get that down into the zone. It's Cantori. Oh, kicks it to the outside and tight. Nice save there. Beautiful save. Here comes Crafty. Kicks it over to Ollie. Here comes Ollie. Drives it up the middle of the ice. In, leaves it for Cantori. Cantori with a shot. And a glove save. 3:45 remaining here in the first period. All right, Cantori in the face-off circle. Whoa! They're trying to win the face-off, gets a shot on net, gets to it, tries to find Crafty in front. Oh, just deflects wide. St. Louis centering feed. Cantori has that, kicks it over to Eli. Eli back to Cantori. Cantori looks to feed that up to Ollie. Ollie hard on the forecheck, forces a turnover. Crafty down low, tries to get that towards the net. St. Louis D with a cutback, looks to play that up to the wing. Eli looks to seal it. Here comes St. Louis, one-on-one against Garrett. And Garrett doing a nice job there, keeping him on the outside. Feed that up to the D on the far side. Centers. Miss the target. Garrett's going to get to it. Just plays that off the glass and into the neutral zone. Oh, he's going to shoot that down on net and end up hitting his own player, but it goes all the way down. Cantori has it. Look over to Garrett. Up to Conroy. Conroy looks to chip that down into the zone, but St. Louis with a nice stick to break it up. Feeds it up the center. Drive in, 1-on-2. Shot. It's wide. Here comes Conroy with speed. 2-on-1 opportunity forming. Here comes Conroy, has Betts. Good back check there by St. Louis. Couple of bodies flying around. St. Louis up the near side. Centering feet on the back knee. St. Louis gains his zone. Throw that on net. It's going to miss wide. Bounce around in the near corner. Tries to cycle it. Sean picks it up. Has it. Feeds it up to Betts. There's Betts up the near side. Has it. Leaves it for E.T. Oh, E.T. looking to find Jimmy far side. Jimmy with a quick shot, so he's going to rim around hard. E.T.'s going to get to it. Just throw that back to KJ on the back end. Let everybody regroup and let a couple of guys go for changes. Here comes Sean up the middle. Sean makes a couple of nice moves. Isolates 1D, steps in, shot, and a pad save. Gets to it, cycles it down behind the net. St. Louis going to look to D to D. KJ's going to get there first, though. Nice play off the boards. Has it. Gets tied up a little behind the back pass. St. Louis plays that up the boards. Dino is there. Makes the move. Looks to just put that on net with E.T. screaming towards the middle. A nice stick by St. Louis. Quinn with a nice stick there to glove that down. Or a nice hand to glove that down. For the KJ. KJ's going to go for a skate. Kicks it over E.T. Down into the St. Louis zone. St. Louis now looking to stretch out the ice. Quinn closing the gap. Centering feed there. St. Louis coming with a little bit of speed on the outside. A nice save. KJ ties up his man. Dino gets it over to RJ. RJ tries to tip that forward to Dino. Oh, Dino tries to one-hand poke it. RJ just going to play the body. Looks to get it out of the zone. St. Louis. All right, puck bouncing around. Dino gets it over to Quinn. Quinn's going to play that off the glass for icing. Try to get that up to Cheech. St. Louis going to shoot that forward. Dick forces the puck to be bouncing around. Oh, Ollie, big body on Ollie. Dino's there as they look to cycle. Shadowing. Forces a giveaway. Big body by St. Louis. And that'll do it for the first period. Things getting physical here. Again, that shift, St. Louis throwing the body around. I think Jimmy's looking for a couple of calls there. All right, so, pretty good back and forth. Fury with a couple of really good chances. St. Louis also with a couple of really good chances. But both the goalies coming up huge, keeping this 0-0. I'm sure they are. We got 9 people. I don't know how to check who's watching.
I'm sure they are. Okay.
Nice hi to the grandparents.
Thank you. Yep.
The boys are back in town for the holidays. All right. What? Zoom out? Yeah. Zoom out. Okay, so we are going to get... Who's going to start us off here? We're going to go Dino, Conroy, and Cantori. Dino wins that forward. Round 1, he has it. He just gets it poked off with his stick. Conroy gets to it. Throws that down to the corner. Cantori going to get there first. He's it over for Conroy. He tries to feed that over to Cantori. St. Louis looking to get there. Tries to feed that forward. Eli tries to hold it at the blue. Dino with a couple of nice moves. Feeds it over to Conroy. Conroy gets there, centering feed there, but a good stick by the D. Turned over. Dino has it. Centering feed. St. Louis picks it up. All right, here comes St. Louis along the outside. Looks to cut to the middle. Oh, nice. Oh. Good play by St. Louis as they cut across the 2D. Both of them commit to the same forward. So they both commit to the same forward. They try to do a slip pass, but nothing really comes of it, and they get a shot on net. Just bounces off the other guy and in. And St. Louis up 1-0. Louis controls off the face-off. Wants to slip that forward. Sean on the back check there, bouncing around. ET gets it, tries to get it out. Slap shot from the point. Dylan's going to hold on. Face off, won by St. Louis. Forward battle. Oh, Crafty takes a little swing at it, tries to get that into the neutral zone. ET over on the far side. So he's just going to throw that the blank of the ice or icing. See me? All right. Face off, won by St. Louis. Puck bouncing around. Cantori gets it. Gonna rim that around hard. RJ forces a nice turnover. Centering feed tries to get that up to Betts. Betts gets to the puck, backhands that down into the zone. Starts the forecheck. Force the D up the near side. He tries to make a couple of plays, gets it knocked off of his stick. Oh, Cantori. Oh, here comes RJ on the break. RJ's in. Got it! RJ on the breakaway. Well blocked and goal. Beauty. RJ with a beauty. You're tied up 1-1. So Cantori, that play there, if Cantori's able to get that puck through his feet, he's gone. They pick it up. Another turnover. RJ's trailing the play a little bit, gets the puck on his stick, takes it house. All tied up. Dino, Bossy, Cheech, Eli, and Garrett. St. Louis controls. Works that away. St. Louis tries to gain the zone. Does. Garrett has it down low. That's going to get rimmed around hard. Gets held at the point. Cheech is there. Looks like tried to get a little slip pass there. Dino comes across. St. Louis on the outside. Cuts back. Feeds that up to the wing. A little bit of a lane. Ooh, quick little shot there. As Dino tries to clear that. It's Cheech. Eli's just going to throw that the length of the ice because they try to throw that on the other side. And it hits Cheech, I think, in the leg. Yeah, Cheech is hurt. All right. Sean in the face-off circle. St. Louis puts that puck behind the net. Repeatedly over to Garrett. Garrett plays that off the boards to Sean. Here comes Sean. Tons of speed. The Fury forwards spread out the ice. Sean gets to it. Plays that off the boards up to Garrett. Garrett's got a lane. Gonna take a shot. Oh, tons of traffic in front. Down. Plays that off the boards. Over to Eli. Over to Garrett. Garrett looks to feed that back to Sean. Gonna miss the target though. Over to Garrett. Garrett leaves that for Sean. Here comes Sean with speed. Up the outside. Nice little slip pass up to ET. ET in. Maintains possession. Gonna cut back on the play. Has his stick lifted. Able to hold on to it. Sean supporting the pile. Has it down behind the net. Down in the corner. Ref laying a pick. Conroy down in the near corner. Taking a body to make a play. Kicks it to his stick. Tries to feed that up the boards, but St. Louis able to pick it up. Centering feed there. Bounced off the stick. Betts gets to it, but that'll be offsides as he gets it in a little too early. Boys hadn't been able to get out of the zone quite yet. All right, Cantori with Betts and Crafty, Hodge and Jimmy on the back. St. Louis, centering feed. Nice surf up there by Hodge to break up that play at center ice. Jimmy has it. Nice play up to Crafty. Crafty with a good stick, chips it forward. Has it back, behind the back, just behind the trailing wing. Here comes St. Louis in transition. And that'll be offsides. So they make the pass just a second too late. All right. Dino, Fossey, and RJ with Quinn and KJ on the back. Quinn's going to bring that down into the zone. Gets it over to KJ. Going back and forth a few times. As Fury forwards going to spread the ice out, so Quinn's going to go ahead and go for a skate, feeds it over to Bossy. Bossy in, shot, looking for a rebound, but goalie able to gobble it up. Dino driving hard in the net. Dino, face-off circle, won by St. Louis. Lee comes down. Goes for a skate, plays that off to Glass. Quinn gets to it, throws it right back down into the zone. St. Louis looks to throw that up the near side. Puck bouncing around. St. Louis has it, centering feed, has a little bit of a lane, and tight shot. Oh, nice save there by Dylan. They try to go high blocker. Dylan with a nice shoulder save. Quinn shadowing down low. Puck gets cycled. Looks to find a stick on the ice back door, but it's going to go through the crease. St. Louis is going to throw that down into the zone. Good stick there by Quinn. Try to get that towards the net. Up to the point. Takes a shot. Looking for a rebound in front. And Dylan's just going to cover that up. Some heavy physical play down low for Quinn there. Real heavy shift. All right, Sean, Conroy, and ET. Plays that up to Conroy. Conroy tries to get that up to ET. Garrett tries to support it. Shot from distance. What a save by Dylan. Feeds it in front. Here comes Conroy. Plays that off the board. Tries to get it up to ET. Here comes Sean up the near side. Oh, as there's an interference play on ET. Oh, yeah, they're going to call a penalty. So they're going to call an interference play on St. Louis as they hit ET, which kind of knocked ET offside. So they blew it dead. I guess they blew it dead for an offsides, but then called the penalty. As ET got thrown to the ice over the blue line. All right, so Dino in the face-off circle with ET and Sean. Nice win there by Dino. Garrett back to get there first. Has it, tries to play it off the board. Cuts to the middle. Still has it. Tries to throw that forward. St. Louis. Oh, Dino's going to go down. Looks to do a little toe drag release there. Yeah, not a good break out there on the power play. All right, so now we're going to have Hodge and Jimmy with Cantori, Betts, and Cheech. As they just play that back to the goal, he's going to cover it up. So 1:04 remaining here in the power play for Fury. 8:59 remaining in the second period. Job there by Betts. Here comes Cantori. Cantori driving it up the far side. Gains the zone. Has it poked off of his stick down to the corner, but he gets it back. Controls. Feeds it up to Hodge at the point. Hodge going to walk towards the middle. Back down to Cantori. Cantori with a little bit of a lane. Tries to slip that over to Hodge. Hodge has it. Cycles it down to Cheech. Cheech up to Jimmy. Jimmy's got a little bit of a lane. Oh, trying to find Cantori back door, but it hits it by St. Louis. Break that up. Nice play by Cantori. To get that up to Hodge, who brings it right back down to him. Find Jimmy back door, 1T, saved by the goaltender, plays it down behind the net. St. Louis, oh, Jimmy tries to knock that down, but it bounces around into the neutral zone. St. Louis on the outside. Tries to feed that into the winger. St. Louis controls, little backhand. That's going to rainbow down to Dylan, who's going to hold on. 8:02 remaining in the second period. 6 seconds remaining on the power play. Dino. Face off, won by St. Louis. Walking towards the middle, feed that down. It's going to go all the way into the near corner. Win on it. St. Louis cuts back, tries to cycle it. Dino with a nice play. Forces the turnover. KJ has it. Cuts back behind the net. Feeds that up to Dino. Dino up the far side, feeds it over to Ollie. Here comes Ollie, going to throw that on net, looking for a rebound. Similar play to before, just trying to get that on net as Dino screamed to the goalie. But no rebound given. Alright, O'Hara. RJ Conroy, puck bouncing around. O'Hara gets to it, cycles it down to Conroy. Turns into a board battle. Sean with a nice play. Has it. Gives it up to KJ. KJ just going to try and throw that on net. The ball from the skate. Conroy doing a beautiful job there, protecting the puck. Tries to slip it back to RJ. And St. Louis breaks it up. Nice play by Sean to knock that down. Over to the D. Set up. Wind shadowing. That's going to be offsides as he tries to make a move at the blue line. And Fury going to get a change. All right, Cantori with Betts and ET. Bouncing around, St. Louis has it. Cantori over to Garrett. Looks to find ET behind the play. St. Louis D breaks it up. Garrett chips that down into the St. Louis zone. He's going to cut back behind the net. Cut back again. ET on the floor, checks him. Great feed there. He's going to bounce up. Oh, Cantori's almost down on the spot. Eli with a nice play. Gains the center line. Throws that right down in. Bring that around hard. St. Louis, Betts is there. Puck goes through a couple of feet. They try to clear the zone. Has Betts looking for Cantori back door. That's going to be a high stick. Oh, no high stick. Okay, we'll take it. All right, ET cycles it. St. Lewis. Reads. Oh, nice play there by Cantori. Tries to feed that over to E.T. for a 1T, just a little in front of him. Is E.T. just going to throw that on net and a glove save. Thanks for the update. Face-off won by Dino. Oh, Hodge with a good stick there. They're going to try and spread it out. They're going to ice it, looking for a winger to just get behind the play, but it's going to go a little bit too far. So Furio's going to get an offensive zone draw here. Man, Sam, you stink, dude. You had practice? Steve never smells this bad.
That's because he doesn't have hockey practice.
Oh. All right. Cantor. Or not Cantor. Dino. Oh, beautiful in there. Up to Jimmy. Just throws it right back down the boards. St. Louis D has it down low. Centering feed. Here comes St. Louis. Oh, good stick there by Jimmy. Break that up. Hodge just going to get it out of the zone. Oh, Chichi's right there. Gets it over to Dino. 3-on-1. Dino's in. Has it. Back door. Oh, D goes down in the slide. Blocks the pass across to Ollie. Nice play. Here comes St. Louis in transition. 3-on-2. On the outside. Cuts across the pressure. Nice save there by Dylan to play it over into the corner. Cheech tries to get that out of the zone. Held at the point. Deflection deals just wide of the net. Centering feed. Nice save. Oh, they're going to blow it dead as the net gets knocked off. Huh? Nothing. For me and him to know, not for you to know. Hey, you're a temp. That means you're temporary. All right, so we're going to have, let's see here, Sean, Conroy, and Crafty with KJ and Quinn. All right, well, throwing it to the near boards. Nice play there by Crafty to force a turnover. Centering feed. Just bounces over the stick. D comes across. Looks to feed that down. KJ gets to it. Over to Quinn. Quinn just plays that off the boards and out of the zone. Oh, Conroy tries to do a little slip there. Centering feed. Shot. Nice save by Dylan. Puck flies straight up in the air. St. Louis on the outside. Goes all the way up to the point. Down behind, centering feed. Nice read there by Sean. Sean has it. Sees Crafty spreading the ice out. Finds Crafty up on the near side. Shot. Fuller's going to gobble that up. All right. So offensive zone draw here. You're really, you can see the forwards being much more aggressive. So as opposed to trying to get low in the breakout, they're just spreading the ice out, giving kind of a 3-on-3 down low in the zone. We get it. We can throw it up to our wingers. Nice win there by Cantori. Garrett walks towards the middle, feeds it over to E.T. E.T. lets it go to Cantori down behind the net. He lets it cut back. Centering feed. E.T. right there. Oh, backhand in the save. St. Louis. Lets it drive through. Makes it through. In tight. Oh my gosh. As he just goes straight through the D. Oh! Let's go! St. Louis turns a 1-on-3 into a 1-on-0. Just goes straight through everybody. Forehand, backhand goal. All right, St. Louis. St. Louis gains the center line. Gets off of a stick. St. Louis in the zone. Dino is there. Looks to play that forward. Betts pushes it forward. Shoots in the forecheck. St. Louis plays up in their boards. Couple of nice moves. Good stick there by Betts. Here comes St. Louis. Gains the zone. Louis and Jimmy just kind of punching each other in the face. St. Louis cuts towards the middle, takes a shot. Nice save there by Dillon. Jimmy, nice preemptive body. Makes a couple of moves, leaves that for Hodge. Hodge in the far corner. St. Louis, good forecheck. St. Louis tries to dump that in, hits their own player, but it comes right back to him. Jimmy down low. Looking to find Cheech, spreading the ice out. Cheech gains the center line, centering feed there. Here comes St. Louis, 2-on-1. In tight. Oh, man. All right, Fury down 3-1. 2:42 remaining here in the second period. All right, St. Louis. St. Louis along the outside, down behind the net. A little spin around, looking for a stick in the lane. Holland hard on the forecheck. Little move there by St. Louis. Good transition by Quinn. Right back into the neutral zone. KJ looks to kick that forward, and that'll be offside. All right. Cantori, Kraft ET. Up. All right, so that'll be defensive zone draw here. St. Louis gains the center line, just throws it down behind the net, but it bounces right in front. Dillon covers it up. All right, Cantori in the face-off circle. Oh, good pass. Up to ET. ET trying to make a break. Good back check there by St. Louis. Little spin around. Down to Kraft. Kraft battles through the body. Centering feed. Garrett up top. Shot. Oh! A couple of deflections, but it goes just wide. Crafty back up to Garrett. Garrett with a shot. Looking. Rebound. Bouncing around. All right, here comes St. Louis. Centering feed.
Period.
1:14 remaining here in the second. Fury boys need a spark. Nice play by Cheech, gets it over to RJ. RJ tries to chip that forward. Lewis. There has it. Whoa. Shot, nice stick here. RJ. Near boards. Gets it to Dino. Dino, beautiful find by Dino. Sprays Cheech on a breakaway. Cheech is in. Oh! What a catch by Dino. Holy smoke, under pressure, finds Cheech up the near side. What a play. Hey, yo, Dino! You're really concentrating. You look like you're like... All right. All right, Cheech, RJ, Dino, Hodge, and Jimmy. Jimmy. To play that down into the zone. Dodge with a nice step up. RJ tries to chip that forward to Cheech. Puck bouncing around. St. Louis gets it down into the zone. 24 seconds remaining. Dodge plays that over to the boards. RJ. Over to Jimmy. Jimmy leaves it for Dino. 10 seconds. Here comes Dino with speed. Tons of speed. In tight. Dino! What a shot. What a goal. 4.7 remaining in the second. What a shot by Dino.
Oh yeah, Dino!
Woo. All right. Conroy going to throw that down, and that'll do it for the second period. Whew, Fury battling back with a couple of late goals there in the second period. So Fury boys able to find a couple of breakaways in the game, and then Dino would just perfectly play shot. So brings it in 1-on-2, little toe drag under the stick shot, low blocker, just over the pad. Beauty. All right. Start of the third, tie game. 3-3.
Let's go, Vegas!
All right, Sam. Need it right here. Need a big third period. Nice win there by Dino over to Betts, who gets it back to Quinn. KJ, back down to Dino. Dino surveying the ice, looking to find Betts. Does, chips it down into the zone. St. Louis D looks to cut back, tries to feed that up to the wing. Nice forced turnover. Odino tries to slide that down the board. St. Louis puts it down into the zone. Nice stick lift. Push that forward. St. Louis picks it up. On the outside. Nice play there by Cantori to come down and tie up the guy in the slot. That feeds it over to Cantori. Cantori in with a shot. Looks to go 5-hole, but a save. All right. We have Sean with Cheech, E.T., Garrett, and Eli. Sean has it down low. Look for the tip. Oh, St. Louis. Pull that out. Plays that off the glass. Whoa. Now we're moving. Nice play by Garrett. Puts it over to Sean. Oh, just held at the blue line. Blue line out and get it. Tries to throw that over to Garrett. Turnover in the defensive zone there as a D-to-D pass gets picked off. And St. Louis brings it from behind the goal line.
Go, guys!
All right. Fury down 1. Feed that up to RJ. Nice play there by Dino. Dino in. Oh, it looks to go short side. Blocker save. Dino with a nice body there as RJ comes in to support. Dino tries to attack the feet. St. Louis is trying to panic get it out and does. Here comes St. Louis. 2-on-2. Through the neutral zone. Controlling it in their zone. Gonna wait for Fury to forecheck. Centering feed. Up, turned over. Dino gets to it. Chips that off the boards. Conroy. Over to Cantori. On the boards. Ooh. Oh, big hit there by Cantori. They go D to D. And that D's looking for an option, and he does. His option is not Cantori. All right, Quinn. In the neutral zone, Crafty with a nice body there. Leaves it to Conroy. Conroy trying to battle through. Still has it, tries to feed that over to Cantori. Oh, Cantori almost finds Crafty in front. Cantori has it. Fighting off St. Louis. In the corner. Conroy tries to get that down to Cantori, but St. Louis able to get it up to the wing. Here they come, driving it wide. He has a step, 3-on-1 shot off the side of the net. Louis looking to attack into the slot. Win. Nice job there, tying him up. Here comes Sean up the near side. Throws that down into the Garrett. Feeds that up to E.T. Centering feed. St. Louis has it. Got from the outside. Dylan's going to hold on. All right. Gets to it, brings it around. RJ, nice job protecting the puck. Garrett. Garrett, nice flying over to RJ. RJ up the far side.
What a boy.
Gets to it. Oh, it's a refeed. Gets it right back. Bouncing around. St. Louis gets it into the Fury zone. Little spin around. Hodge with a nice play. Throws it out. Bad hands it up to RJ. He's going to chip it in the neutral zone. Cheech on the forecheck. Oh, almost able to knock down that play. Nice play by Cheech to knock him down. The ref's going to say no call. Hodge gets to it. Beats it over to Jimmy. Over to Cheech. save. And Lewis, centering feed. Here they come. 2-on-2 on the outside. And shadowing, played up to the point. Walks towards the middle. Takes the slapper, kicks it down to the wing. Makes a couple of moves, has it. Looks to go back door, nobody there. Conroy plays it forward. All right, Betts up in your side. In. Behind the net. Here's Voracek. Good stick lift there. Battling. Cantori. Cantori tries to pass it across, but just slides off the stick. Over to Eli. Eli up to Crafty. Crafty just going to throw that one on net. St. Louis. Look to feed that forward. We're going to say no icing. Face off, one by St. Louis, but goes all the way out of the zone. Sean Hart on it. Oh, DDD pass! Gets backed off. Here comes Sean, up the near side. Has it, little spin around, backhand to ET. Here comes St. Louis, looking to come on the outside. Shot, nice save there by Dylan. Play that on that. Jared picks it up. Oh, tries to find Dino behind the play, but a couple of sticks in the lane. St. Louis has it. Play that down into the zone. All right, Eli. Over to Dino. Here comes Dino up the near side. Dino, tons of speed. Inside, outside. Centering feed. He's going to hit his stick, bounce into the neutral zone. Jimmy's going to throw that over to Odd while the Fury boys get out of the zone. Nice stick there. ET gets to it. Dino's going to put that right down in. 7 minutes remaining in the third period. Goalie going to stop it. Waiting for the D. Here they come, all spooled up. There's the zone. Ooh. Brings that one off the post. RJ with a nice body. It's a little high. Jimmy. Jimmy tries to get it up to Cheech. Nice play. Breaks it up. Over to Dino. Here comes Dino. Roses still has it. Over to Cheech. Goes for the shot and the glove save. Win by Cantori up to Hodge. Hodge has a little bit of a lane and a big shot. Puck played over to the boards. Here comes St. Louis with speed. Needs his zone. Looks to cut through. Jimmy ties his man up. Puck just kind of spurs through. Oh, St. Louis gets it. Up to the point. A couple of fakes. And the net is off. With 5:54 remaining here in the third period. 6 minutes, plenty of time for the Fury boys to make something happen here. Nice win by Cantori. But that's going to be a penalty.
Get me back! He just did it to us!
lady is crashing out.
Someone was overserved.
All right, so Fury going to go on the penalty kill. Because Cantore wins the face-off and then just tells that guy, fuck off. Ends up taking a penalty on it. All right. Team. Controls on the outside. Up to the point. Over to the wing. Quick shot, nice save by Dylan. Has it on the outside. Comes across the top, tries to slide that down. Oh, up the inside of the post and out. That's going to throw that off the boards. St. Louis on the outside. Right through the slot. 5 minutes remaining here in the third period. 40 seconds on the penalty kill. He's going up high. Feed. Just has a bounce. Nice block there by ET. St. Louis, quick shot. Oh, deflected from wide. ET brings it around over to the near side. Just has it down low. Quick shot. Nice block there by Quinn. Oh, nice play there by Betts to force a turnover. Here comes St. Louis. Back to even strength. Inside. Good stick there. Puck bouncing around. Here. Takes a swing at it. Gets it over to Conroy. Puck held in at the zone. Shot. Nice block there. Garrett down behind the net. Throws it over to Cantore. Cantore up for Conroy. All right. Dino. Over to Garrett. Garrett leaves it for Dino. Dino with tons of speed. Makes a couple of moves. Aims the zone. Sharp angle. Looking back door. And a goal! He puts it off the D-man. Puts it off the D-man in a goal. Dino. Holy jumping. Holy jumping, Sam. All right, tied 4-4. 3:37 remaining here in the third period. Sean with a nice wing, gets it over to Hot. Gets over to Jimmy. Jimmy finds Sean behind. Sean, oh! Little breakaway there. Nice stick save. Hot. Tries to get that forward to Bossy, but it bounces just over that stick. Hodge comes across. Gets hauled down. Jimmy's going to come across. Cheech on the forecheck. All right. St. Louis at the far side. Wants to cut to the middle. Good stick there by Sean. Oh, man. Ref knew he messed that one up, but he says, my bad. All right, throwing down into the zone. St. Louis. Quinn. Quinn up to Ollie. Ollie tries to chip that down into the zone. Transition by St. Louis. St. Louis. In the near corner. Quinn gets to it. Tries to feed that up to ET. Puck bounces around, comes into the center. Here comes Dino, 1-on-2. Dino behind the back over to ET. Oh! St. Louis. Because that's going to hit the ceiling. Dump in attempt there hits the rafter beam. Gets blown dead. Cantori over there. Having a few words. 1:59 remaining here in the third period. Alright. Nice win there by Dino. Garrett looks to spring somebody up the middle, but Cantori. There comes Cantori up the far side. Fakes a shot there, plays it down behind the net. E.T. plays it off the boards up to Garrett. Garrett down to E.T. St. Louis centering feed, 2-on-2. Offside. All right, Sean, RJ, Betts, Brennan, Jimmy. Back to near side, tons of space. Feeds that forward to Betts. And a bounce, they're gonna say no ice. Sean on the forecheck. St. Louis in the near corner, Betts hard on it. Quinn plays that off the boards, up to Betts, he tries to get that down to the zone, D seals it. Up to the wing on the far side, centering feed. Oops, St. Louis just kind of blows a tire there. Jimmy comes across. Good body there. Puck down behind the net. Swinged around. He steps up, right off the boards. Held the blue line. Plays down behind the net. The center of that. A couple of nice plays. RJ. Skate just bully his way through. Puck is loose. Puck still loose. Jimmy gets it, tries to feed it through the pile once again. St. Louis. Good job there by KJ to read that play, but Cantori gets it. Here comes Cantori. Gains the center line, makes a couple of moves, still has it, pushes it down into the zone. 20 seconds remaining. Off the glass. No ice. St. Louis has it, plays it through. Takes with a nice play. Cantori over to Dino. 5 seconds. Dino in, 1-2 shot. And a save. All right. So 0.3 seconds remaining here in the third period. I don't know that's going to be enough time for much of anything. You could try to pull Dylan and overload the front, but even if you take a shot on the face-off, I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, it's not enough time.
Yeah, we're going to load up the middle. Cantori's just going to try and throw this on net. Does. Ooh! Oh! Is that deflection? Goes to the slot. I don't know. Sam, the rules change every game. If you're at a tournament, that's the only time it's consistent. Otherwise, I think they just look over to Jimmy and see how he's feeling. You know, he's like, hey, I don't know.
I'm done. I'm going to go home for tonight.
If we were up 5-1 and now it's 5-5, he's like, oh, tie. All right, here we go.
Go Fury!
Dino, Cantori, G. Willie. And Willie. 3-on-3 hockey. All right, boys have to switch sides. There's a new period of sorts. Nice win by Cantori. Garrett plays it over to off the board for Cantori. Cantori's going to gain the zone. As it poked off, here comes St. Louis. 2-on-2. Cuts to the middle. Outside shot. Sail it wide. St. Louis. There's it. Oh, Cantori. Oh! Oh, puck is loose. Put it in. Yeah! Cantori! Cantori! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! As a drop pass gets intercepted, kid hooks up Cantori, shoves him off, and then on about the 7th attempt to get it into the empty cage, he does. Whether you get a penalty on St. Louis on that play, we'll take the goal. Way to go, Cantori. Oh, what a play. What a play. And that'll do it. Fury coming out of the weekend 2-0. 5-4. You just clap. Don't put that much thought into it, Sam. How do I do it? Clap into my palm. I don't clap my fingers together like a second grader. Yeah. Right into the palm. There you go. Hey guys, we just taught an 11-year-old how to clap his hands.
No, I knew how to clap my hands. I was just asking how you clap your hands.
You want to know how I clap my hands?
I know how to clap.
Oh man, what a game. Whew. Wow. Cantori. What a way to end the game. You know, Fury Boys at the end of the second period with a flurry of goals. What was that, the last minute and a half? Which, Dino Fine and Cheech on the break. Unbelievable pass. Then Dino with a perfectly placed shot. Cantori just out-muscling him in the overtime. Beautiful. Well, thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys. I think our first games are actually on Friday. Big tournament, Silver Stick tournament, so tons of hockey. Going to be playing against great teams, so must-watch TV next weekend. So have your Thanksgiving meal, and then get ready for some youth hockey. Thanks for tuning in.